Hey guys, welcome back to Kettlebells Made Easy, the 14-day fast track for beginners. This is lesson 4. If you haven't watched the first 3 lessons, make sure you go do that first because they're super important. Today, we are going into the kettlebell squat. So we've been working with kettlebells on ourselves and with clients since 2010. So it's been a while. We definitely like them. They still work. And regardless of age or skill level, you can always learn the kettlebell squat or goblet squat in one day. It's one of the most accessible skills. We've trained folks from ages 14 to 84, and they can all do goblet squats. So it's a really great skill to have in your toolbox. First, just like the swing, I want to go over the breathing technique because, again, if you have the breathing right, you're going to do better than all of your friends that are just learning kettlebells, okay? The breathing will really take you that one step above. So for the squat, the breathing is a little bit different. You'll inhale as you come down, and then partway out of the squat, you'll make a audible grunt almost. It'll sound like a hup. And again, that is just trying to protect the spine, brace the core, make sure that you are keeping that total body tension as you're moving a load that's heavier than your body. So like I said, the first thing we're going to do is the goblet squat. So there's 2 ways to pick up the kettlebell. The first one, you'll have the bell kind of right in line with your toes or even close to the arch of your foot like the deadlift. And you're going to have your hands on the top of the bell. And as you're lifting it up, you're going to move them to the side. So I'll start here. I'm going to stand up quickly, move it to the side. So this is kind of a traditional goblet squat position. If you're using these sport bells, they're a little bit wider, so that might not be as comfortable. So you can do something else called the crush grip, which is where the bell's upside down. So with that, you'll turn it vertically. You'll put 2 hands on the bell. So one here, the other one over the other hand. You're going to bring it through, and then you're going to catch it, and then place your other hand on the side, okay? To get down, turn, hand on the handle, bring it through and down, okay? So pick whichever one works for you. If you have a cast iron bell, you might just be able to bring it to that more common goblet hold. As the bells get heavier, sometimes people prefer the crush grip because it's harder on the wrist to hold on like that. Everyone's personal preference is different, so just find what you like and go with that. So for the goblet squat, we're going to do it together, a couple reps. The thing I want you to think about is the breathing, and then we'll move on from there. So I'm going to do crush grip here. Okay, I'm going to come down. Hope. Okay, so practice 3 to 5 reps, a couple sets, just focus on the breathing. Once you do that, I want you to focus on your depth. So if you don't have pain, optimally we want to hit a parallel position or our hip crease coming just below our knee. And one way to know that you're doing that is to use your elbow as feedback. So I try to squat down and have my elbow touch the top of my thigh. It doesn't have to be the inside or anywhere crazy, the top. If you hit the top, odds are you're going to parallel, and you'll be able to mimic the same range of motion every time, which can be super helpful. So let's try one more set using that elbow as a target. So you'll bring it through. Touch, hope, okay? It'll become a lot more relevant to do the breath as it gets heavier. Our second variation for the toolbox today is the 2 kettlebell front squat, one of my favorite exercises of all time. Doing the 2 kettlebell front squat does require you to know how to do a clean. So if you're doing the goblet squat, you don't necessarily have to know how to do a clean because you can use 2 hands to get it into position. This one is technically more advanced because you need to know how to clean properly, which we will do in an upcoming lesson. So if you don't know how to clean yet, just stick with the goblet squat. It'll take you a very long way, all right? If you do know how to clean, we'll give this one a try. So nothing is different except your stance is slightly wider. You're going to still do your hip chop, reach for the bells. I like to tilt them a little bit. So you're gonna hike through your legs. Stand up fast. Forearms are vertical. I do like to reset my position, and then you'll do the same thing. Ho! Ho! Okay. I'll do one more from the side, so you're still using the same breath and using elbow to the top of the thigh. Hip chop, reach for your bells. Ho! Ho! The next variation you can do is called an offset squat. So what does that mean? Sometimes when you're building your kettlebell collection, you don't always have pairs that are the same weight. So no problem, just use 2 that are different weights. You'll just clean them both, and then on your next set, you'll switch the sides so you can be evened out. Same thing though. Hip chop. Ho! Ho! I'll switch the side. Like we said in the first few lessons, you want to start out with at least 3 kettlebells, but if you just have light, medium, heavy, you can use your light and your medium to do offset, or your medium and your heavy, and then you can start to build your collection over time. Next variation is the bottoms up squat. This is probably the most challenging variation of squats that I'm going to show you in this series. So bottoms up means the kettlebell is upside down, so it takes a lot of grip, strength, and even more core because you're stabilizing everything. So you want to start with 1, and then if that feels okay, you could progress to 2. I'm going to use my cast iron bells for this because the lightest ones, I believe the handle's a little thinner, but it might be the same. So if you're doing bottoms up, you'll want to place the handle vertically, and then you'll line up your body right over top. So my shoulder, elbow, wrist is a straight line, and I can feel a strong grip here, okay? So it's right in the center of my palm. I'm gonna clean, okay? So this is your first step. Make sure you can hang out here. If it's all wobbly, I probably won't squat, okay? We'll try it on the other hand. Straight line. Okay, seems okay. Go back to my other side. Straight line. Try to squat. We'll try the other side. So the other hand, I like to make a fist, but you also want to be kind of spotting yourself just in case it starts to wobble. And then, if you feel good about that, you can do 2. So we'll go here. Oh, there we go. Make sure we're stable. Okay, lefty's always a little bit worse. Maybe your non-dominant side is as well. And that's totally normal. So those are my squat variations. I also wanted to touch on a couple lunge variations because if you're thinking about the patterns, which we talked about in our earlier lessons, all of these fall under the squat pattern. And lunges fall under the squat pattern too because they are knee dominant. So if you're going to do a lunge with a kettlebell, you can use 1, you can use 2, but it essentially works the same way. When I do a lunge, I'm going to step out, bring my knee down. You can touch the floor or you can just hover. It doesn't really matter. So you can do them in a what we call farmer's carry, hold. So my arms are just down by my sides. I can do a reverse lunge this way. I can do a side lunge this way. I want to bring one inside my foot, one outside. If I want to make it a little harder, then I can do it in what we call the racked position. So you'll bring both bells to the shoulder. I'll turn sideways. You can go forward. You can go backwards. You can go sideways. Here. Here. Okay? We've added quite a few options to your toolbox today, so make sure you practice all of them. Maybe not in one day, spread them out. Those are all options that you can work into a training plan. If you want to try some of ours, they are available at trainwithwaves.com. We have 2 beginner templates for free on our website, as well as our complete kettlebell skills guide, which is similar to these videos, except it's all in one PDF document. So make sure you head to the website, check it out, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Stay tuned, and I'll see you for lesson 5. Bye.